I mean, sometimes it's like the power that needs to hold me back.
I mean, you're
because...
appropriating a medical condition. That's what you're really doing.
It is a safety concern for trans women to share a female restroom.
Being a non-binary person that sometimes has the choice to either go into a men's restroom looking like this, you can look at me looking like this.
It's just interesting that I thought this was a trans debate.
I don't know, maybe you could educate yourself a little bit on that.
I think I could
maybe
educate
then you would
you.
figure out.
What is he doing there? Yes, I said he. It's a man. Here we go again, a non-trans person trying to educate a real transsexual on what it means to be trans. You're a man wearing clown makeup, which is actually very fitting, but being a man looking like a clown doesn't make you any less of a man.
As a trans non-binary person, when I go into a place that only has men's and women's restrooms, and I'm dressed like this, my choice to go into the men's restroom at that point puts me in danger.
So your feelings are more important than women's safety. Got it. If trans women should never use the men's bathroom due to safety issues, why is it okay for self-identified trans women, aka men, to use the women's bathroom? I thought men were the problem. F the women, but as long as the self-identified trans woman, the man, doesn't feel unsafe?
I've transitioned almost 8 years ago, but 6 years ago, it was never an issue for me to use the women's room. I don't pass. I know I don't pass, so that's a me problem. And I'm not gonna turn my fear of being attacked in the men's room into a woman's problem. It's still a me problem.
I imagine it's not easy for you as a trans woman to admit that you don't pass and to use the men's bathroom, but as you said, this is not about you. This is not about what you want to do. It's about reality. I think you pass more than you think, but maybe it's your energy or something. The fact that you look at the situation from a neutral perspective and you thinking about not wanting to make women feel uncomfortable. Respect.
It's okay for minors to get top surgery.
Somebody who has experienced top surgery, a lot of severe damage actually was created to my rib cage, and these are permanent damage to my body because I binded for about 8 years, and there's even still issues that I have with breathing and certain issues that I face. Unfortunately, if I had that surgery a lot earlier, I would have a better posture. I'd have a lot of pain that is not within my body.
So what you're saying is you're experiencing permanent consequences of doing something as a child, and you don't want that to happen to other children. Huh. That sounds really familiar. Do you know how easy it is for you to say, as an adult, I wish I've done it sooner? And the whole thing about binding, I binded for 5 years, I think. I don't have any issues. I didn't have any issues. And maybe it's because I didn't have a large chest before top surgery. And maybe it's because I did it the right way, which is actually possible. Like to bind safely. But no matter what, the way to solve young teenage girls' binding issues is not to cut off their breasts, buddy. That is not therapy, buddy. That is not automatically what you should do. Teenage girls having trouble breathing doesn't justify cutting their breasts off. Do you know what we should do with these girls instead? Get them real help. You're not helping teenage girls who watch a little bit too much TikTok by cutting off their breasts. The girls should get therapy, not get on the operation table. Of course, there's a few who will benefit from top surgery, but they have to be adults. It is so important that these girls are able to consent.
I get maybe under 16, top surgery would possibly even make me a little uncomfortable, but I also know that I was homeless at 16, paying my own rent, left my home at 16 and had to live my life as an adult very early. So I think it's weird that others can't seem to see that I could make a medical decision for myself when I had to physically take care of myself.
As you're implying, what you went through wasn't okay. You were a minor. So why is it suddenly okay to cut off the breasts of 16-year-old girls? Make it make sense. Just because you had to be the adult in your life when you were a minor doesn't change the fact that children cannot consent. Doesn't mean that children should be able to consent to life-altering decisions. It sounds like you've had a very tough upbringing, and I'm sorry to hear that, but it doesn't mean that we can justify doing this to minors. I've also struggled a lot inside, and it really hurt, but I waited until I was 20 before going through the medical transition, and now I'm 24 and I'm super happy with my life. Even though it doesn't look like you're happy, I'm assuming you're living a great happy life as a trans man. So what are we even talking about here? Even though I know now that I don't regret my transition, so I could have started way younger. Why didn't I start at 14, at 13, even 12? Technically, I could, but I would never do that, even if I had a time machine, because that's demented.
Doctors are manipulating trans medical care.
You know, detransitioning is a thing, but truth be told, detransitioning is actually rare.
No, it's not. Just search on YouTube, I'm detransitioning. There are hundreds, if not thousands of videos. You will be shocked. This is an activist who do not support detransitioners, who don't have any empathy towards detransitioners. I don't care if she claims otherwise. It's not respectful to lie about the numbers of people who detransition and to act like it's not a problem at all. Disgusting.
Now, the underlying factors within that is healthcare conditions, but also I think it's really because doctors are still learning about our experience.
I like how you admit that doctors don't know what they're doing. If trans doctors don't know what they're doing, maybe they should just stop handing out medical transitions like it's candy. Trans activists want trans doctors to affirm, no matter how many detrans cases there would be in the future, just so no one is missing out on the transition. Activists like her clearly do not care about all the girls, especially, who permanently have deep voices and no breasts, facial hair, but they regret their transition and they want to be women again. Or they actually want to be girls again because they didn't get the opportunity to be if they transitioned as minors. I'm so tired of hearing, well, first of all, detransitioners don't exist, and second of all, those who detransition do it for medical reasons. They do it because they can't afford it. Well, that's not a detransition. We can talk about that, but it's a separate thing. Let's say I had to go off testosterone, which I don't think is better for my health, to be honest. Like, how? I wouldn't be a detransitioner. I would be a trans man not needing testosterone. That's a different conversation. Get it together. Well, they do know it's a different conversation. They just want to distract people because they don't really have their own arguments. I think a lot of you want me to react to the very heated moments. The most shocking moment of the entire episode is this.
The people at the top that you're referring to aren't transphobic, because let's be clear, of the isms that are in the military.
Man, we live
that
in
a lot of
America.
us face.
People are allowed
Excuse me,
to
I'm
be.
speaking. Do not interrupt a black trans woman when she's speaking.
You've
Let's be
interrupted
very
me
clear.
hella
When it comes
times.
to when
Hella
it comes to
times.
ism,
I don't know what to say. This exact moment is why I don't believe that this person is trans. I do not believe that Blossom, not a very fitting name, transitioned in order to alleviate gender dysphoria. I think someone wants to be very dominant and controlling and getting away with it. And how can you act however you want, especially being very dominant and controlling? Well, you just have to identify as trans and then you can't do anything wrong. Why don't I use that privilege more often? Maybe because I'm not a gross human being. Do not tell other people what they need to do. You're just super pathetic, oh my god. There were at least 5 white people you could have said that to, but you didn't. Why did you pick Andrew? Well, the answer is the size difference. Blossom is huge, and Andrew, not so much. Being dominant like this, Blossom, is not a really good look if you want to be perceived as a woman. Let me ask the trans women watching this, would you ever act like this? Because wouldn't you feel very dysphoric? Being seen as very dominant? I'm just guessing, I'm not a trans woman, so I don't know. Go watch the video, it was a super heated debate, and it was quite good. Blair is iconic, of course she is, but I want to say something. Sarah Higdon and Andrew, I don't know his last name, did amazing. And if I had to pick out a winner, I would pick Sarah. Sarah provided a lot of facts that were really necessary for these activists to hear. Overall, she seemed very calm and had a great energy. Thank you all for watching this video. If you want to see more content like this, remember to hit subscribe and the notification bell. If you want to support my work, my PayPal is in the description down below, but no pressure whatsoever, because I'm already super grateful for all of you. Remember, you can become a member of this channel. We have so much fun, so come join us. Follow me on Twitter and Rumble, and I'll see you all in my next video. Peace out.